Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome. This is session number 3 from the technology conference. Um, Again, just make sure that if you haven't signed up for the workshop, you do sign up for it. Also, make sure that you check in because they're giving away prizes. And they're pretty cool prizes, guys. Good luck to everyone. Hopefully you all win, right? Also, shout out the tech conference through social media, either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or X, right? By using the hashtag PSJA We Create, and you could possibly win a backpack, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get us started today. All right, so I'll be introducing myself a little bit more, but I am Jennifer Martinez from Escalante Middle School, and I teach drama, so all 3 grade levels. All right, so today I'm going to be presenting on Canva in a fine art classroom, and more specifically in a drama theater classroom, how I use it. If there's any other fine arts teachers in here you want to share how you use Canva, definitely share that with us in the chat. You know, you all have different specialties, right? So how do you use Canva in your classrooms, right? All right. So today's agenda, I'm going to do a little introduction. We'll talk about how I learned about Canva, how I use it in my classroom, how I use it to showcase and promote my program, and how you could use it. Then we're going to get a little creative today, and we're going to get to create a little something later. We'll have a Q&A, and then I'll go into my conclusion. All right. So a little bit about myself. So I'm a Javelina alumni. I graduated 2016. Now, when I did my student teaching, I had spoken to one of the directors from PSJA, Mr. Mockin, and he was teaching middle school drama at the time, and that's how I got into PSJA, honestly, because like me and Mr. Mockin had worked on a show together, and he had come to Kingsville to come see a show, and I was like, hey, I heard you're teaching in the Valley. And I was like, can I be your student teacher? And he was like, yeah, let's do it, right? And so when student teaching came around, I signed up, and I luckily got to student teach in PSJ, got to meet the other directors. I got to meet a lot of people in PSJ. So that's how I got into PSJ. So the year after I graduated, fall 2017, I started working in PSJ. This is going to be my 7th year in the district. I can't believe how fast time is flying. I've been the theater director here. I've been the PR rep for my campus. I'm also the UIL coordinator and a coach, so definitely got a lot on my plate. There's a lot going on being a director and also doing UIL. I love UIL. So much fun. Shout out to Mr. Murray. He helps us out a lot. So I'm also the UIL coordinator and coach. I coach 4 events. I coach prose, poetry, solo acting, and duet acting as well. All right. Now a fun fact about myself, and I want to share this in the chat with you, is that my family, we have pet pigs. They're more like my brother and sisters, to be honest. They're so cute. I'm going to put a picture in the chat for you. This one right here that I'm about to share, that's Pumpernickel. He's the baby of the group. He was super tiny when we first got him, and now he's so big. He's enjoying the swimming pool right there. We also have 2 female piggies, and I have a picture of them in the mud because they, especially right now that it's so hot, they definitely love rolling around in the mud and just cooling down like that. So I'm going to share that with you too. They're so cute. I just have to show them. They're like the cutest, and they are very, very smart animals, honestly. And they love eating Cheerios. So that's a little fun fact about myself. My family owns pigs. They do stay inside, and they do have their own bed. Pumpy ended up taking over my room after I left. So yeah, so that's a little fun fact about myself. And my piggies, right? Okay. Ooh, I went back. Sorry. All right. So next, I want to talk about how I learned about Canva. So I mentioned that I was the PR rep for my campus. So the second year that I was at Escalante, I took over PR rep and I did it until 2021. Now, when I was PR rep, I got to work with the communications department, and that's where I first learned about Canva. So we would have meetings with the communication department, and during these meetings, they showed us different things that we can use. Um, and one of the things that they showed us was Canva. And I saw that and the media was like, okay, I like this, right? And so I took it, and that's how I created a lot of the posts and stuff. And I even shared it with the fine arts teachers at my campus. I'm like, y'all, you need to use Canva. You can create so many things on here. You can use it for your flyers, and you can use it for our Facebook posts. And so I was like, use it. And so now a lot of us at our campus, I know my fine art teachers, they use Canva to create their flyers and their Facebook posts or Instagram posts that they have our PR rep post. And then besides the communications department, shout out to Karina who's here in the chat. Our librarian, Karina Quilantan, Mrs. Q. She also showed me more, and honestly, she made me want to learn so much more about this app because when it came to the virtual year, it was like, okay, finding new ways to do assignments that before, were maybe like on paper and stuff like that. And so she showed us, she did a bunch of lunch and learns and like tech stuff with us, and we learned so much with her, and I really like loved it. She like made me fall in love with being a student again, because you know how you're always learning. So shout out to her. You can also follow her on social media at Q the Librarian. All right. So that's how I learned about Canva, right? Now, once I learned about Canva, I was like, okay, well, how do I not only as PR rep use this, but how do I use it in my classroom? Now, those of you that are fine arts teachers, you can relate to this. It's hard to find stuff out there geared towards your class. Any materials that you need, any worksheets, any lesson stuff that you need. It's hard to find it for us, like for elective teachers. So it's a lot of you're creating on your own kind of thing. So Canva has really helped me a lot getting lessons ready, getting assignments ready. So some of the ways I use Canva in my classroom is one, by creating like posters and presentations. Um, so um, like I said, hard to find stuff for fine arts teachers. Like, right now that we're going back to school and we're looking for like costume decorations and like posters and anchor charts to put on our walls. It's kind of hard to find stuff for fine arts. Um, so what I like about Canva is that you can create your own, right? And they have like poster size ones. And the cool thing is about this is like you can create your poster on here. And I know like our campus, we have a poster maker, right? So I can send it to like my CIT and I can be like, hey, can you print this for me? And then he prints it for me. I can laminate it and then put it up on my walls, right? That way we have more theater content posters up in my classroom, right? Also like creating presentations that I can use inside my classroom and even after school with my drama club or even with UIL, I can create presentations on here. And the cool thing about Canva is that Canva has templates that you can use that all you have to do is just kind of tweak it and make it your own, put your information on there that you want to share or have out there about, you know, whatever lesson or your content, right? So that's one of the ways that I use Canva in the classroom is by helping create posters and presentations and stuff like that. I also use it to create worksheets and assignments. Now, because we have like the education account, you get to see more of that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna like exit out of here really quick. So when you're in your home screen, and I know I have like a bunch of stuff there. When you're in your home screen of Canva, you can go to templates And here, they have some for education, and you can. And I was seeing this earlier as one of the things that I learned earlier, because they're always changing stuff on here. You can look for your grade level for your subject, right? And they have different things that you can use, different templates that you can use, and you can just tweak it and make it your own, right? So going back to mine, like I found a KWL chart, um, when we were going over careers in theater, right? And so my kids had to create a presentation for the career that they were assigned. And as they were presenting, we would do, okay, what do you already know about this career? What do you want to know about this career? And then what did you learn, right? So before, they would answer the K and the W before the student would present, and then afterwards they would answer the L, what they learned about the career that was presented. I also like to, because I was still teaching virtual last year, so I was having to also create like virtual assignments for my kids. And so we were going over Shakespeare and created this one. It's pretty cool. So just, and they would have to fill it in, and it has like different things like what year was he born, place of birth, where did he adapt his place from, um, a list of his plays and stuff like that, and the kids would have to fill it in. I also work with Southwest, and I've helped them with their children's shows before. And last year, I just, because I'm kind of like the tech savvy one and I like to do all this kind of stuff, the high school directors asked me to create an activity booklet, and I got to create an activity booklet for the elementaries. So I created the activity booklet for Wizard of Oz. It has different little activities on there, word searches, a poll, and all of that, writing and everything. And I got to create it, and I sent my final copy to the director, and from there they sent it to the elementaries. So the elementary schools would do this, like the week of our performances when they were going to come, they would do this with their kids. So yeah, I can create a lot of worksheets and assignments on here as well. Now, another way that I use Canva is by having like the students create stuff on here. So on assignments, we go over storytelling. And what I like to do, that's like the first thing that I like to do in my class is do storytelling before we get into like doing monologues and duets. I like to do storytelling with the kids just to kind of get them used to performing. And so this usually happens around the time of Halloween. So I had purchased this material from Teachers Pay Teachers, and it's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's really short ones. And the kids would select a story that they want. And from there, what they do is they create a presentation on Canva. And the cool thing about Canva is that when when you're presenting, it gives you different options, right? You can, present like I'm presenting to you right now, and then you can also do a present and record, right? So what that is you go on there, you do your presentation, and you're recording yourself. And so I had the students do that. So I had them rehearse their story several times before they did this. And then I was like, okay, when you're ready to record, we're going to go to present and record, and you're going to record yourself telling the story. Okay. When you're done, you're going to submit this in the Google Classroom. So this is one of the ones that one of my students did last year. And it was the bus stop, and I'm going to play that for you so you can hear it. But they would put the title of the story on there on the presentation. They would add imagery to go with the story. And then once they've created their presentation, then they'll record themselves telling the story. So this one was from one of my sixth graders last year.
Today I will be presenting The Bus Stop by Alvin Schwartz. Ed Ox was driving home from work in a rainstorm. While he waited for a traffic light to change, he saw a young woman standing alone at the bus stop. She had no umbrella and was soaking wet. He called, "Are you going towards Farmington?" "Yes, I am," she said. "Would you like a ride home?" "I would." she said, and she got in. My name is Joanna Finney. Thank you for rescuing me. I'm Ed Cox, and you're welcome, he said. On the way, they talked and talked. She told him about her family and her job, and where she had gone to school, and he told her about himself. By the time they got to her house, the rain had stopped. I'm glad it rained. Would you like to go out tomorrow after work? I'd love to, Joanna said. She asked him to meet her at the bus stop, since it was near her office. He had such a good time. They went out many times after that. Always they would meet at the bus stop, and off they would go. Ed liked her more each time he saw her. But one night, when they had a date to go out, Joanna did not appear. Ed waited at the bus stop for almost an hour. Maybe something is wrong, he thought, and he drove to her house in Farmington. An older woman came to the door. I'm Ed Cox. Maybe Joanna told you about me? I had a date with her tonight. We were supposed to meet at the bus stop near her office, but she didn't show up. Is she all right? He said. The woman looked at him as if he had said something strange. She said, I'm Joanna's mother. Joanna isn't here now, but why don't you come in? It pointed to a picture on the mantel and said, that looks just like her. It did once, her mother replied. But that picture was taken when she was your age, about 20 years ago. A few days later, she was waiting in the rain at the bus stop. The car hit her, and she was killed. The end. Thank you for listening. This is Ana Victoria Contreras, The Bus Stop.
And so that's an example that one of my students had done last year, and it's really cute. It's got that radio theater vibe to it, and I love it. And what's cool about this assignment is that like we'll do it before Halloween, right? And so the day of Halloween, I'll put these on the board, and we get to listen to them, right? And it's the first time that the kids are performing. Um, so I mean, the good thing is like you have them recorded so that way they don't have the nerves of oh I'm performing in front of everybody just yet because you're still getting comfortable with everyone. So this kind of slowly eases them into performance. Um, so I like doing that with them, especially during Halloween. It's so much fun. And then we like turn off the lights and everything and just kind of set the mood like a campfire. It's so fun. Um, Another thing that I do with Canva is create backgrounds for our puppet scenes. So this is usually like when we come back from Christmas, we get into puppetry. We do like little hand puppets, and it's so fun. And the kids get to um, come up with their own original puppet characters. They write a script, they create the props, they create the background, and we usually create the background in Canva, right? And I really like Canva, especially Canva for education, because you have so much more access to images and stuff. And so the kids get to create their backgrounds on here. And I usually have them do it in presentation mode. That way, if they want to have like different settings in their little play, they can. So I have an example here of some of my students that they did theirs, and again, this is all their ideas. They come up with the stories. I help them with the writing of it. Like if they need help or anything, they make their own puppets, they make their props, they make their backgrounds, and the backgrounds again they do it on Canva. So here's an example of a couple of my students performing theirs.
I'm Kelly, and this is Michael.
I'm Amron, this is Beth. This is the title Bite of 83.
Hey, get your dirty hands off the pizza. Beth, I swear, if you get your hands off my slice of pizza, I will fight you.
Oh no, how scary. Maybe we'll finally get to see what Dad says about the picture of you at the party.
Oh yeah, well, I wonder what Mom would say if she knew that you were using her makeup.
Okay, fine. How about we rock, paper, scissors for it?
Fine.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
You know what? Forget it. What? Is he brooding over there?
Oh, be quiet.
That's what what's the word? Oh, expect as much from you.
And that's why you're the slowest in your class.
And that is why you don't have a girlfriend.
You know what? That's why Santa isn't real.
You know what? I don't believe you. You're always lying. Like when you told your little friends you lived in a mansion.
Go and ask mom and dad then. They'll tell you. And it was one time.
Yeah, one time. Like when you blamed me for breaking the vase while you were being rowdy with your stupid friends. You still owe me an apology, you jerk.
Hey, I don't owe you nothing. The vase was ugly anyways. Stupid.
Who are you calling stupid? I get straight A's in my classes while you get straight D's.
Yeah, and macaroni art.
Well, at least I behave good. While you come late every day for after school detention. You always promise to play with me, and once you're back, it's already too late, you dum-dum.
Oh, yeah?
Oh. Well, that was useless.
Santa still isn't real.
And I still don't believe you, you liar.
Whatever you say.
So, do you want to go punch him?
No, I have a better plan for later.
Weirdo. Okay then, I'm going on my own.
The end.
So that was a couple of my students, and they're performing their puppet scenes, right? And so, again, I like to use Canva so that they can create their backgrounds. And then what we do is we display them on the new line board that's in my classroom, right? And I set up like a little table for them to where they can do their little puppets from below the table. They can manipulate them from there. You know, still need to work on like some stuff on there, but we do puppet scenes. Now, another thing that we do in theater is we go over careers in theater, right? And now in the high school level in theater, they actually have a theatrical design contest. And the high school students compete in like costume design, makeup, set. They even do marketing. And so with my kids, the middle schoolers, I like to give them a taste of what they're going to be doing in the high school. So what we do is I pick a script, right? And the script that I use for these designs that you're about to see is called Social Media by Deborah Cole. And I found that on Drama Notebook, another great website, especially for my drama teachers, Drama Notebook. And we get that script. It's a really short script. We read the script. From there, we do our research for the characters that we want to design costumes for. We do some research for our set. Now, before we design our costumes and our set and even our marketing stuff, we do an inspiration board, and we do it here in Canva as well before they do their actual design. And that inspiration board is supposed to help them with their designs. Now, when we went into virtual and that we had that virtual year, I had to figure out a way how to do this virtually, because before it was doing it by hand, by actually drawing it, because that's actually how you do it for the high school competition. But I had to figure out like, how am I going to do this? And so I was like, you know what, we can use Canva. Canva would be a great way. So I have some examples here of some of the costume designs that the kids made for some of these characters. Now, the play is called Social Media. So the kids had to pick one of the social media characters, and we have like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, text, Snapchat, and they had to pick their character, and they had to create an inspiration board first before they designed the costume, and then they would use Canva to create the costume design. Now, I tell the kids, I was like, okay, you have the option of either drawing it by hand or doing it on Canva, because I know some kids, they're like, oh, I'm not really good with drawing this, and they kind of like, they'll close themselves off if I just give them the option of just drawing. So I also give them the option of doing it on Canva, because even now in theater, we're starting to use more technology for our performances. And so I give them the option of doing this on Canva. And so some of the kids are like, you know what, I'll do it on Canva. And I do let them know. I was like, okay, you might find some stuff on here that you like. Some of the clip art, some of the effects, they don't let you change the colors. Some of them do. So I'm just letting you know, it's a little bit limiting, but you can still use it. Okay. So I let them know that before they actually start working on it. So this is an example of their costume design. We also have set design. So this play takes place in a coffee shop. So I tell them, okay, guys, you're designing a coffee shop. How would you want this to look? All right. And I really love Canva because it has a lot of fun stuff. And I do my example for them too. So I'm like, oh, look, this is how I did mine on Canva. And it also helps give them ideas as well. So these are some of their set designs that they did. Another thing that we do is marketing. So we're marketing that play, Social Media by Deborah Cole. And I tell them, okay, this is all the information that needs to be on your flyers. Make sure that that's on there, right? And then they create the design. And we just use the flyer option in Canva, and then they create their flyers on there. Right? So these are some examples of their marketing for that play. Now, speaking of marketing, we're going to go into showcasing, promoting your program. Now, I am a fine arts teacher, right? And so we're always recruiting, we're always looking for students, and we're also want to archive all of our work, show it off, right? So as a fine arts teacher, I do have an Instagram for my organization, right? And I use Canva for a lot of my posts. I even use Canva to create my logo, which is right here. And that's our little profile picture on the Instagram. So if you want to follow us, we're at gems.drama. We're the official Instagram for Jaime Escalante Drama. So I use Canva to help me showcase and promote my program. I created the logo. You can do that as well. You can do a whole branding thing because now they have branding on Canva, and you can do your whole branding on there as well. So some of the things that I do, and I'm also going to show off a few other programs at my school, is create Instagram posts, right? And what I love about Canva is that when you go to the home screen of Canva, at the top, they have a section for social media. And so depending on what you're using, like I said, I was once the PR at my campus, so I was in charge of the Facebook. I was also in charge of the Twitter. What I really love about Canva is that it has the exact proportions that you need or dimensions that you need for each social media. So if I want to create a post, I have for my Instagram, there's one specifically for Instagram posts. There's some for stories. There's some for reels. For Facebook posts, that way, like, let's say you're trying to advertise, like I was advertising the drama camp that I have coming up. And I want to post it on Instagram, it fits perfectly on there, because sometimes if you use like the regular flyer ones, it's going to get cut off and stuff. And so with Canva, it already has those dimensions for you, right? So if I want to create a post for my PR rep at my campus to post on the Facebook, I can go to Canva, and I can select the Facebook post one, so that way I know it fits perfectly in the Facebook post and no information is cut off. And I really like that about Canva, is that it has those perfect dimensions, so none of your information gets cut off. And another thing is that, like, yeah, I created the one for the drama camp, right? So they go to my home. I can actually, like, if I created it in Instagram dimensions, it does give me the option to change them to another one, right? So like I can, and you can see it here on my presentation, it gives me the option to resize, and I can resize it to whatever it is that I want. So if I want to change it to a Facebook post or a Facebook cover, I can do that. And I would just have to adjust it, and it would make a copy of it and resize it for me. That way I have exactly what I need for wherever I need to post, right? So these are some examples here. One from my orchestra teacher, and then also from our librarian. So creating posts for social media. Videos. Okay, so during the virtual year, I still wanted my kids to get a feel for like being able to perform. And we had been doing like a Christmas play yearly. And so that year, I was like, how are we going to do this? So I was like, we could do a radio play. And so for this one, what I did was we got together on Google Meet. My cast, the students that were performing in this, we got together on Google Meet, and then we recorded it. And then from there, I was able to edit and make the cover for this, everything, add music through Canva. And that's really cool. And I'm actually thinking about for this year, we had this thing called Buck News, thinking of bringing that back again. So that way we can create videos that can be posted to like our school Facebook page and everything of what's going on in our campus. So you can also create videos on Canva, and it's really cool because they have like royalty-free music on there too, so you can add music. And going back to one of the things that I talked about earlier, when we did the puppet scenes, kids were able to add music into their presentations to go and add more to their scene that they were performing with their puppets, and that was a lot of fun too. Seeing that they were adding music and sound effects to it, it was so fun. So the kids like went all out, and it was so fun. So creating videos. Another thing I like to, I know our campus asks us to create brochures, and it's good for you to have a brochure for your program that you can pass out like at Meet the Teachers, or you can like pass out at like the school expo that they had last week. You can create your brochure on Canva, and then you can print it out, or maybe even talk to your secretary about helping you print this out to make it look more professional, right? You can print these and pass these out, and it looks so cool. And they have templates, so you don't have to worry about breaking your head about like, oh, I have to start from scratch. No, they have templates that you can just take, tweak, and make your own. Right? And that's what I do sometimes, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm creatively drained right now, so I just use the templates, tweak it, and make it my own. You can save them as PDF, right? So you can save it as a PDF, and then you can print it, and even have like when you save it as a PDF print. And so that's another thing that you can do to showcase and promote your program. And yeah, that brochures, definitely do this for like your Meet the Teachers, or like for us, we have the sixth grade recruitment. Our incoming fifth graders come and visit our campus. Some of us set up booths, and we pass them out to the kids there. All right. Flyers is another thing that I create on here. I like making flyers on here, so fun. I do different types of flyers, right? Because you wanna promote yourself, your program, what you're doing. I do it for when we're doing plays. Like when we did our one-act play, Our Lady of the Dorothea, I created my flyer on Canva. I do it for UYL, recruiting kids to join UYL, like doing game nights with them and stuff. We also, when we have a fall festival, I create a flyer to recruit kids to do the haunted house, right? Like, oh, it's open to anyone in our campus that wants to be part of the haunted house. The kids love doing it. It's so fun. And so flyers that I can like print and just post up around campus and give to the students. And again, like, if you made it in a flyer dimension, you can resize it and just change it to be like for an Instagram post. And so that way you don't have to be like, creating, like starting from scratch every time. No, you just have to resize it. It'll make a copy for you in the new resize, and then you just fix it up. So that's another cool thing. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and create together. We're gonna do a let's create, right? There's a little hands-on here. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna create a slide for Meet the Teacher, and if you're not a teacher, that's okay. You can do an all about me one. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share a link with you in the chat. So I'm gonna share this link with you in the chat. Now, all you have to do is click on the link. Right, so copy the link right here. Let me put it in the chat. So there you go. You can click on the link. Now, once you click on the link, it's going to ask you it's gonna ask you, like, it's gonna open up the thing. It's gonna say like edit design. You can edit design. If you're not already signed in to Canva, once you click edit design, it's gonna ask you to sign in. All you have to do is continue with Google using your PSJA credentials, and then it'll sign you in and take you to the presentation. Now, there's going to be a bunch of us on here. So what you can do, where it says page, next to page 1, you can put your name. So like I'll put mine, Jennifer Martinez, right there, right? So once you're in, just select a page, and then next to where it says page, whatever number you have, add page title, you can put your name there to claim your page, right? And if you're having issues getting into the link, just let me know. Everyone should have access to it. And it's like Google Docs and stuff. You can see who else is working on it. I know there's several of us in here. So you can just, there's 20 pages. If we need to add more, we can add more. But just pick a page for yourself. And again, where it says page 1, you could put next to it, add page title, and you could put your name there to kind of claim your page on the presentation. Cool. I still see people joining. And there's different ways that you can view the presentation. So right now, I'm looking at the slides like this, like portrait, but then like if you click here in the bottom arrow where it says show pages, you can see them vertically. And another cool thing that I learned today at the Canva presentation that I presented, you can add a timer, right? So like if you're doing something like this with your kids, with your students, at the bottom left, there's an option for a timer. You can add a timer and add as much time as you want. Like, oh, okay, guys, we're gonna take 5 minutes to work on this. So that's pretty cool. So it has like a built-in timer. Okay. All right. So once you're in here, like I said, just claim your slide. All right. And there are several. So I'm just gonna go here. So once you have picked the slide, and you can see once the slide has been claimed, because like you see the little bubbles for everybody there. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to design. You just click on your slide, and you can see where there's a little bubble where someone's already there. So if you can see on my screen, no, it's kind of small, but like page 5, I can see that somebody's already working on page 5 and somebody's working on page 4. So if you see like a little bubble like that with initials in it, it's already been claimed. So you can just find another blank one that hasn't been picked yet. So like I'll pick number 7. And you can also when you're viewing it like this, where it says like page 7, I can add my name there. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a slide for Meet the Teacher. And if you're not a teacher, that's perfectly fine. You can also do an About Me, right? So Canva, like I mentioned, has templates that you can just tweak and make your own, right? So once you have your slide, you're going to go to Design. And in Design, you can search for whatever it is you're looking for. So if I'm getting ready for Meet the Teacher, right? I can search in there, Meet the Teacher, and there's already templates here. Okay. Now, when you see one that you like, all you got to do is click on it. Now, some of them have like 12 pages, some of them have like 5 pages. Now, if you want to use a whole presentation, you would put apply all, but for today, we're just going to use one slide out of all the ones that you see there, right? So like, I like the way this one looks. I'm gonna add this one right here, the About Me one. right? And it'll add it to my slide without changing all of the slides that everybody has, right? So if you just want to pick a specific one, you just click the specific one that you want. Okay? So again, when you're on your slide and you want to find a template for your slide, all you have to do is click design, type what you're looking for, whether it's an about me or a meet the teacher, right? And you can see the different templates that there are. And we're just going to use, like, again, if you like this one, you're just going to use one of the slides out of that whole presentation. You're going to click, you're going to hover over it. It's going to have a plus. You're going to click the plus, and then it'll add that template to the design that, that design to your slide. And all of this is editable. You can change what's on there to put whatever information you want about yourself. This is going to be like a little simple little thing for meet the teacher, or just like an about me. And if you want to start from scratch, you can. Like, you don't have to use a template. If you like don't see one that you like, you don't have to use a template. You can just completely start from scratch. I like to use the templates because it kind of helps save time on what I'm trying to do. So once you picked it, you can add your information. So I am Miss Martinez. Right, so you can take a template, tweak it, make it your own. If you want to change the colors, you can. To do all that stuff, this picture here, you want to change it, you can. I like to put a lot of, like, especially for like a meet the teacher, you want to put a picture of yourself. So I usually, like, I'm always uploading pictures and stuff. And I like to do that by using Canva on my phone. So there is a Canva app on your phone. I like to use it way better on the laptop, but like when I'm trying to upload pictures for my presentation, what I'll do is I'll use the Canva app, and I'll just upload a picture that I have on my phone that I want to use in the presentation. So I like on my uploads, I have a bunch of pictures. And you can delete pictures. Like, let's say you're like, oh, I'm not going to need this one anymore. Let me go ahead and delete it. You can remove it from your upload. Right. Like I said, I have a bunch of pictures of stuff. And like whenever you want to add that picture, you can just click on it, or say, for example, like this one's a frame. What you can do is you can drag and drop it where the picture is, and it'll change it for you. So I know as we're getting like ready for the school year to start, I know we're getting things ready for like our class. You can even create syllabuses on here if you want. They have a lot of stuff that you can use, and you can search for it in the home screen. You can search for what you're looking for, and there's templates specifically for education, where you can find stuff on there, templates that you can use and just, like, again, tweak and make your own. That's the cool thing. So I know we got a lot going on with PDs and trainings and everything. So, and even getting our classroom ready. So it's like you know, Canva already has it templates for you that you can just use and just change and put your information. Makes it easier for us and takes less time to do because there's already a template there for it. Oh, seeing some other ones here. Oh, how cute. Yes. Oh, and something you didn't mention, for those of you that use Classroom Screen, I like to make, because like I know Classroom Screen has its own backgrounds already, but I like to make my own, especially like for reminders at the end of like the class and like find a blank page over here. So like this is an example of one that I did for this past school year. I like to put this on my Classroom Screen, so I upload it as a background. Like, well, I created on Canva first, I download it and then upload it into Classroom Screen, and I put it on there so that the kids can see, like, oh, this is what's happening on campus. This little reminders of things that are happening, especially like around Christmas time. We do like little dress up days and stuff like that, and there's a bunch of concerts happening, like to advertise for my other fine arts because I know we work really hard with our programs to get them performance ready and competition ready. So definitely love to advertise what they're doing on there. So that's another thing you can create on here is backgrounds for your Classroom Screen to make it more of your own. And you can use this like you can use Canva to do about me with the kids, especially for like the first week of school when the kids are getting to know each other and you're getting to know them. You can create about me's on here and you can show them how you want it to look and give them examples and stuff. Like little little over 10 minutes left. So I'm gonna go into my Q&A part. Does anybody have questions about Canva or like how you can use Canva in a fine arts class or how you use Canva in a fine arts class? Any questions? And you can leave them in the chat. You can turn on your mic. I like to hear your voices, so feel free to turn them on and ask questions. Oh, yes, thank you, Marco. We do have the survey for the session here that Marco posted for us in the chat. Y'all can start working on that already. So okay. So the Canva app that I use on my phone, and I'll just like screenshot it and post it in the chat. It's free. Um, it's just like the little Canva logo. And you can still sign in with your credentials and stuff. Um, so I use it there. I got it when I was PR because sometimes like I was getting text messages when I was away from my like computer, and they're like, "Can you post this for me?" And like, "Oh, I have to create like like a little flyer or like a little Facebook post for it." So that's why I have it on my phone as well. Um, honestly, prefer using it on the computer, but it's also good to use on your phone, like when you don't have access to a computer or maybe even like an iPad or a tablet, right? You can use it on there. And I'll share the screenshot with you so you can see. And it should be available for iPhone and Android because when I first started PR, I had an Android, and then I switched over to iPhone, right? So it's available on both. I know that my kids will have it on there too, on their cell phones, right? Because a lot of times middle schoolers will forget their laptops, right? So it's like, oh, you still got to work on this assignment, guys. So you use your phone, download the app, it's free. So I have it on my phone there. Another thing I was gonna share with you, if you are on like social media, if you have a Facebook, if you have a Twitter, if you have a Instagram, follow Canva. I really recommend this because throughout the summer, as I've been just lounging around and scrolling through my Instagram feed, I will see videos from Canva, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. They did this update, or they added this, or oh, they had this feature. Like, so I'll be just scrolling, and I'll get like into the videos that they're doing, and they post stories a lot. And like this one, build our next design, and you get to choose, and then they actually create the design and they post it on their stories or on their page, and it's really cool because you can be a part of it too. Like, let's say, oh, like no, this is on the computer, but like on your phone, you can like mess with it better. So it's pretty cool, and they have videos and stuff on there that you can check out. That's one of the places where I learned like, oh, you can have a drum roll, and oh, you can have confetti and stuff, which I can share for you. Like if you're doing a presentation on Canva, these are the commands that you can use in your presentation. So like if I'm in presentation mode here, right, all I have to do is click C and you have your confetti, or click D for a drum roll. You even have a mic drop in there. That's pretty cool. Right, so you can do that, and that's how I got the curtain call at the beginning of the presentation. For that one, it's just the U. So there's two ways that you can do the timer. So there's the timer like when you're editing it, the timer's in the bottom, right? And then while you're in the presentation, so while you're presenting, and you're like, let's say in your presentation you have like a question for the kids, and you want to give them like 2 minutes to answer, right? So when you're in presentation mode, on the bottom right where the 3 dots are, you just click show timer, and you got 2 minutes to do it, right? And then you can start the timer while you're presenting. So that's cool too. That's one of the new things I learned. So yeah, that's pretty much. But yeah, those are the commands that you can use too whenever you're presenting on Canva. It makes it a little bit more fun, right? The kids like to see that stuff, the confetti. I know when I was doing virtual and we were doing like the Google Meets and stuff, we do like the confetti, and the kids love that, and the round of applause and everything. So fun. Any other questions? And we have about 5 minutes, guys.